If you thought that was fun, I got more for you. My name is Tim Esterdahl. This is Pickup Truck Plus SUV Talk. My passion is trucks and SUVs, and I got one of my favorites out. I got my 62 Chevy C10. This is what I call Swede. Swede's back at the family farm today. This is where he grew up. This is where he lived until I rescued him a couple years ago. He's got a 283 V8 underneath the hood that I swapped out with the inline 6 cylinder, the 235 inline 6 cylinder, did a couple years ago. It leaks like a sieve. I got to fix that. But anyways, digress. I got snow tires on him. Yes, I have snow tires on a 62 Chevy C10. This is something you don't see very often. I got Tire Rack to go ahead and sponsor me with some snow tires. These are the Firestone Winter Force 2 snow tires. And I have normally a set of Coopers, and I'm testing out the snow tires today. I have 140 pounds of sand in the bed. I'll go ahead and take you through the tires. We're going to go have some fun. I have a big farm road I want to see if I can get down. Had a blizzard about a week ago. The snow's kind of crusty, but still a little deep, it looks like. So I may have some challenges getting stuck, but we'll see if we can't power our way out. I'll throw a GoPro in the cab and talk to you more about these tires, because really, I got no power steering, no power brakes, no ABS, no traction control. Hell, the window kind of works most of the time, and I think I had some duct tape underneath the hood. So this is all about the tires. Yes, it's all about the tires. Sit back, pop a top. Let's go have some fun. All right, like I said, this is Swede. He's 1962 Chevy C10. He looks like he went through a bar fight, but he got in a fight with the barbed wire a little bit out here in the country. I'm going to go ahead and walk around. As I said, these are the Firestone Winter Force 2. So Firestone there, Winter Force 2, UV there. And what's neat about these tires is not only do they rotate in a certain direction, but the way that the tread is set up, and I'm going to show you the tread right here, you'll be able to see, you can see how the snow gets in that tread, but it sticks out of the tread. The way the tread's going, this is going to fall out this way. It's going to push the snow out as it rotates around. So a really cool tire. On this side, you can kind of see an example of that, where the treads are empty, and then the other treads are coming down. But I can't really see down there. I'm not going to bend around the snow, so I'm hoping that worked out pretty well. Anyways, this is, like I said, this is Swede 62. He's got the short bed, step side. I have my Coopers back here. I'll show you that in a second. I haven't placed them anywhere as far as in the garage or the shop or anything. And here's our back end. It's got the aftermarket Braden bumper on it. I think it's a Braden, or it's homemade. I can't quite decide what the heck it is. It was a pain in the butt getting these lights in there, and I still don't have turn signals. Oh well, I have my hands. All right, so these are the tires I had on there. Cooper, let's see if I can't get that to move a little bit. They're mud and snow AT3. It's an AT3 in there. These guys didn't set them up for me. These are the rims that have been on there. These are the tires I've been driving. You can see that this all-terrain tire, it's got it set up so it can send that ice away that way direction as well, but it's still going to get caught up a little bit in here, where the other ones are really set up to send that snow and ice away. Kind of the difference you have there. I have the side tire here. Oh, why did I come over here? I get the dumbass award today. There's Cooper Discover AT3. Those are the tires that I have had on. A little bit of chrome on there. You can see I've kept this one nice. These not so much. There, I put stainless steel wheels on these, cheapest ones I could find, just because I just wanted tires. All right, inside the cab. All right, look. I'm going to show you inside the cab. Any negative comments towards the inside of the cab, or you get deleted. That's the rules. I haven't quite finished it yet. I'm still working on it. It's a work in progress. Okay, before we get there, hey, there is Swede there. And I'll tell you the story on that in a second, on why I call him Swede. Okay, the doors. So there is the cab. I have my camera gear. I put a new seat on here, which of course, immediately the spring popped through. I put some seat belts on, because taking the kids around town, the wifey doesn't like them not having seat belts. I have a little Chevrolet floor mat, doesn't do me a whole lot of good. I did put down some sound deadening and some heat resistant here, and I put down new, you have to go with chrome as far as door sills. They don't really have much else out there. There's the interior there. New weather stripping all the way around. Guys, I'm trying to keep up. There's my dash. Yes. Send hate mail. Tim at pickuptrucktalk.com. it's a work in progress. I haven't put it back together because pedometer doesn't quite work. Even though I have new cable, it doesn't quite work. And I'm still working on the gas gauge. I think it's the gas. It's a new gas gauge and new electronics, but the fuel sender unit isn't working. When that's all done, I'll put a nice back piece of metal or wood or something back then, and I'll put a new dash back there. I have your standard. I have the choke, windshield wipers, and the lights. Cigarette lighter doesn't work, and the turnkey. And I have a bunch of wiring that I keep screwing around with. I replaced the motor, wiper motor, and the heater, and it's just a work in progress. And there's the rest of the interior. So yeah, it's been a work in progress. The interior wiring, I've basically redone everything, and I've done all the way from the middle of the cab back is all new wiring. The front of the cab forward, I haven't done any wiring to the lights. Lights work. The turn signals don't work, and I'm working on that when I can, trying to narrow down why that happens that way. And gas gauge, like I said, if I can gas gauge the pedometer to work, put a new background back there. But you know, I get working on it, and I go travel or do another video. That's kind of the way it is. So I'm not going to do a whole lot more as far as getting to it. Maybe this next year I'll have a chance to get some of that stuff done. On the outside, I'm going to take and put like a linseed oil and just clear coat it. I'm not going to do anything crazy. I'm not doing any painting it, not fixing it, nothing. I'm going to keep the patina the way it is because I think it's kind of beautiful. So I'm going to leave it the way it is. I was going to say about the wiring. The wiring, like I said, but work in progress because I keep messing around with the gauges and such. But I also put a new wiper motor in, new heater motor in, and new heater resistor. So I've had to really do a lot of work to that wiring, so I haven't quite fixed it. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Oh, all right. So the story on Swede. You see the name back there. So the story is simple. So my simple, and I go blah blah blah. My wife's grandfather nickname was Swede. When he was a baby, an aunt picked him up and said, "I don't care what they're going to call you. You'll always be my little Swede." So he went by Swede. Well, I'm Swedish. If you break Esterdal in half, Esther and then Dahl, people will tell me, and my family lineage tells me, that Esther stands for Eastern and Dahl stands for Valley. They used to be called, I think, Williamson, and when they came across through the New York City, through Staten Island, they changed their name to Esterdal, because I guess Williamson was used a lot, and they wanted something more unique. So that's where we got Esterdal from. So I'm basically 100% Swedish on both sides of my family, and my grandfather's nickname was Swede, so Swede it is. So yeah, Swede and I have a good time. I rescued him a couple years ago, driving around, drove him to Denver a couple times last year. Denver for me is 180 miles one way if I drive the interstates. I drove the back road, so I did 200 miles, so it'd been 400 miles round trip. Took about 4.5 hours. It was stopping every hour and a half for gas and a quart of oil. He goes through oil pretty good. He likes the oil. But people on this channel asked me to do some videos on driving Swede around. Again, it's no power steering, no power brakes, nothing. I mean, it's pure driving experience. So I'll throw the GoPro up, and we'll drive around the farm a little bit, and I'll see if I can't get down this farm road a little bit and have some fun, and kind of show you what it's like to drive Swede. All right, let's take Swede for a drive. Get some speed up here. I'm not sure I can make it through. Ah, get going! All right, hey, how about we stay on this not in the farm road? That is deep. Woo! That is some deep stuff. All right, I don't know about you, but I don't want to get stuck. That's a lot of digging to get your ass out of there. Tractor's got a flat tire last time I checked, so that ain't gonna happen. We're gonna go up over here. Just kind of play around a little bit. Swede is a 283 V8, like I said, 2-wheel drive, 410 rear end. A lot of low-end torque. We just kind of, I don't know, have fun driving around. It's not, you know, everybody's got Jeeps and everybody's got lifted things and this, that, and the other. And I got a Chevy C10, and I have just much fun, I think. I'm going to park on top of this hill if I can. Boy, it's muddy up here. Woo! Alright, that mud and stuff's a little too thick for my taste today. I am not getting stuck. So we kind of took a little tour. You can see how it did in the snow a little bit with these snow tires. Now let's head for home. Doing the county road up here. It is dirt roads the whole way. And we'll drive. I'll get some different camera angles for you. But folks, this is all what it's all about right here. This is what it's all about. Nice warm day, elbow out the window, windows rolled down, driving the old pickup. This is really nice. Alright, let's hit the paved roads. The oil roads, they call them around here, because they used to spray oil on these, keep the dust down, and then they discovered asphalt and concrete, and they laid that. But these call them oil roads. Took old oil, and they'd throw them down the road and keep the dust down. It's a major... Oh, he squeaks a little bit every once in a while. He's alright. He'll be alright. And, yeah. So... I don't know how fast I'm going with that, but I have an app. And when I feel like it, I pull up my app. And it tells me 57, 56, 57 miles an hour. I don't know if you can see that, 56, 57. So, it's about 65 through here, but I really don't give a shit. We're just gonna kind of cruise. Alright, so it looks like cruising through the countryside. If I were to say anything about these snow tires, I'd say they feel heavy. They feel like they're a thick piece of rubber. It's kind of weird to say it like that because it's not something you anticipate, but you do feel it. I mean, you feel like it takes a little bit more to turn. They just feel a little heavier on the steering wheel as far as driver input. Now this steering wheel goes like, you know, it ain't exact by any stretch of the imagination, but you did feel like they're a little bit heavier. But I tell you what, it went through that snow pretty good and got through that high snow. I wouldn't think it'd get through. I'll be curious if we get another snowstorm to check the brake distance. And maybe I'll do that in another video if I get a chance. Right now it's hit or miss. I think we'll get another storm. Could be 2 months from now, and I don't feel like holding this video up for 2 months waiting for another snowstorm. A little ridiculous. And once in a while you decide to drop the hammer wheel. Hey, thanks for watching. You should find us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. All variations of Pickup Truck Talk. Just type it in, you'll find us. Pickup Truck Talk. PickupTruckTalk.com. We're going pretty fast now. Better slow down. I have got pulled over in Swede, and it's a funny experience. Everybody has a good laugh over that one. So again, Pickup Truck Talk, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. PickupTruckTalk.com. Email me at tim@PickupTruckTalk.com. Leave me a hate mail below. Tell me everything I'm doing wrong, how much you hate the dash, all that good stuff. Thanks for watching. I'll literally see you down the road.